Just like other media types in Director, such as video, bitmap graphics, or vector graphics, Director has a special window for working with 3D objects, the Shockwave 3D window. The Shockwave 3D window provides an easy way for you to inspect a 3D cast member. Also, some properties of 3D cast members can be edited in this window. To open up this window, the easiest thing to do is to select the 3D cast member in the cast window and then click on the Shockwave 3D window icon here in the toolbar at the top. That'll bring the 3D cast member into view here in the Shockwave 3D window. Let me review the following controls that you'll see around the edges of the window. The camera buttons here on the left side include dolly, rotate, and pan. Let you change your viewing angle by zooming in and out, moving around the world, and moving in a straight line horizontally or vertically. You can also hold the Shift key while using these tools to make the camera move faster. So for example, the dolly camera allows me to move in and out, and again holding down the Shift key will speed up the movement. So notice that I can move way in or way out. Next we have the rotate camera. Kind of interesting if you've never worked in a 3D space before. You can rotate it using that tool. Next you have the pan camera to move this around. These two buttons here below the camera buttons let you control whether the Y-axis or the Z-axis is the up axis when using the camera rotate tool. In this case here I have the camera Y is up, but I can change that to the Z. Again, this might take a little practice if you've never used 3D manipulation tools, but they're actually quite fun and relatively intuitive once you get familiar with them. Next we have the playback buttons here at the top. These let you either play the cast member's animation at normal speed or step through the animation using the step buttons. This is not an animated 3D object, but I can relate these back to the control panel, which you probably are familiar with. You have the step forward, step back, rewind, play, stop. Notice that it's running through the frames there. The loop button works the same as the loop button in the control panel. It lets you play animations within the 3D cast member repeatedly. These two buttons in the upper left hand corner, the Reset Camera Transform button, and next with the Set Camera Transform button, lets you set and undo the changes you make to camera angles for the member's default camera. The Set Camera Transform remembers the current camera position. The Reset Camera Transform restores the camera to the previously remembered position. So if I go ahead and spin this, I've now set that so that it remembers where that was, and now I can reset the camera transform so it goes back to that set position. Let's set it back to this orientation. Set the camera position, and now let's rotate this, and now let's set it back. Next you have the Root Lock button. This fixes an animation in place so that it doesn't change its position on the stage while playing. The field here at the top of the Shockwave 3D window shows the name of the cast member on display. The square button right here allows you to drag and drop this cast member onto the stage or score. Let's go ahead and delete that instance, and let's move this. Now let's grab this little icon and drag it onto the stage like so, and notice that there is my outline, and I let go and there's the new member on the stage. Going back to my Shockwave 3D window here, we also have buttons here for setting up a new cast member. The new cast member here in the upper left hand corner will create a new 3D cast member. previous cast member goes to a previous member. This would be the previous member in a spot in the cast window. And then the next button is the next cast member. And the last button here, the Reset World button, restores the 3D scene to its original state with all models, cameras, and so on assuming their original positions. So notice that I'm clicking that and it's resetting it to the very first positions that I had when I opened up the file. Let's try that again. And there we go. Reset World button. As I mentioned previously in another section of this tutorial, Director has a code library under the library palette setting there. And one section of this code library is behaviors for 3D objects. This is a list of behaviors that lets you build and control a 3D environment without any knowledge of Lingo or JavaScript syntax. So let me move on to the next movie and review some of my favorite 3D behaviors here in the code library.